I'd like to start by saying I'm very aware of the past, but I'd really like to keep that out of things. I am more than aware how important it is to try and have a good relationship with the developers, and the way the developers treat the community, in my opinion, is a huge part of the experience of the game. So far, my experience with the new team at TC has been nothing but brilliant, and I'll admit I have absolutely no idea what prompted them to reach out to me and invite me into this, but I can only say I massively appreciate that you did, and I'm hopeful that the past is the past and things can progress forward positively. I promise we'll get into E-Day in just a second, but before we do, I really just wanted to try and show you why I'm so impressed by this game. This is a brand new project in Unreal Engine 5, which is the engine that E-Day has been built in. The game has been built from ground up. This is how it began. Anything that's been built has been built from scratch. All the mechanics, they don't just automatically exist in Unreal Engine, you have to create them. Here you can see a little visual using blueprints, but I would imagine it's probably been created in C++, but that's a complete guess. But either way, it's gone from this to what you're about to see. I understand that some people are here just to watch the game and aren't too interested in my opinion. That's not a problem, so for you, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a little bit of Horde footage and a little bit of PvP footage. After that, if you want to stick around, I'll give my thoughts on everything.
Cover my face! Hell yeah, Carter! Take some names! I owe you! I'm down! Back off!
Walk it off! Drone deployed! Talk on! Target the flare! Oh yeah? Come on! Oh yeah! That's fine! Tango down! Let's get to work! Drone deployed! I got something for your ass! Yeah? Come on! Target the flare!
5-0 can't land if the LZ's crawling with grubs. Clear them out.
Ready to go! Oh, that was clutch! Back in the dark!
Target the scorched drones! Oh yeah!
Back in the dark!
I love that sound! Nice. Okay. Got one. Disruptor's ready. Oh yeah.
KR-80 inbound. Keep that LZ cold for me, Gears.
Oh, that was clutch!
Stand clear of the extraction point, or I'm gonna have to scrape you off the sidewalk. Hey! We don't have all day! Get your asses in gear! Alright, no fidgeting back there. Let's get you ground pounders home. You made it back in one piece. Hell of a performance out there.
I just showed that past tweet there for a reason, but I'll come back to that in a second. The first and main observation I made while playing this was TC have honestly done zero wrong. And for me to say that, I didn't think I'd ever say that, no offense, but wow. I did not find a single thing you did badly, didn't feel lazy, or didn't feel like it went against what you've literally specifically been asked to do. When playing this, I felt like you'd literally sat down, had one or more meetings, deciding what players have been asking for and how you can implement it. And I'm sure I'm missing some things, but look at things like the classic Omen, attachments, the large map, dark and gritty, true to Gear's style for the universe, heavy feeling characters, removing wall bouncing, vertical maps, even the sound effects, they feel like Gears. Every single part of this game reminds me of something that TC has been asked to do. That doesn't mean I like every part of it, I really don't, and I'll get to that. But at no point can I sit and say TC haven't listened, they've done it badly, or they don't know what they're doing. They have done exactly what they've been asked to do by a lot of people. And looking at this, I think if players don't like it, you have yourselves to blame, because this is 100% specifically, absolutely what you have been asking for. So, observation number one, TC, you've nailed what you've been asked to deliver. It's way better than what I ever expected you'd come up with. I've always wanted Gears to be one of the top games. This feels like one of the most polished games I've played in a very long time. Looking back at Horde, I actually really enjoyed it. Now, as someone who didn't really play much Horde on 4 or 5, there's things here that I'm probably just very not used to. Power being one of them. Obviously, I've seen it, but not really played with it very much. In this, if I'm honest, I did feel like I didn't find any uses for it at all. I understand there's little buy stations and upgrades, but I had little look, didn't really know what any of the upgrades did. Now, I don't know if there's things that are going to be unlocked later. Potentially, that would make sense. But what I found was after all was done and you get to the extraction point, there was very little to do. By that, I mean, there wasn't many enemies. You just tend to sit and wait for the helicopter to turn up, and nothing to spend the power on. Now, what I think might be good, and I don't know if this was just not thought about, or if it wasn't done for performance reasons. Now, if it's performance reasons, I totally get why it's not a thing, but if it can be done, I do think increasing the amount of E-holes in the area for extractions would make it a lot more interesting. And I don't mean just a little bit, I mean a lot more. Make it chaotic. Let's say you've got 10 E-holes around you or more. Now, I don't want Brumacs to be spawned or things like that, bullet sponges, I don't want that. I don't mean overloading you with grinders or boomers, because that'd just be annoying. Make it so there's a lot of essentially cannon fodder enemies running at you. Make it seem like you're about to get overrun. And in the areas, make it so you can have fortifications to build, like lots of turrets, any defenses that might be in the game that I've not seen. Make it so if you get to the end with a bunch of power, you can use it and not just extract and just have the power there. I think that would make extractions a lot more intense, a bit more chaotic. And when you get on the helicopter to extract, there's actually something to shoot at. I think that would be interesting if, as you get on the helicopter to extract, you've got loads of little enemies running towards you, trying to bring you down or get you off it. I don't know if that's a thing that can be done, but I just think that it would make it more interesting as an exfil if there's something to do that's actually a challenge there. Let's get back to that tweet I shared, because I shared it for a reason, and this might surprise a lot of you. I believe that I have been wrong in having that mindset for over 10 years. And I say that because after playing E-Day, this new style of movement, it 100% fits the style of the Gears universe and the feel you'd expect to have in that situation. So when I said that, I was wrong. I think that this design 100% fits in a Gears of War game. However, the point I was trying to make behind that tweet, and when I've ever said it in the past, is something that I don't think I was wrong about. I think I was very right about, and I think it will be a problem. When I have talked about what is true to Gears, for many of us, Gears has been it's been like an experience or a feeling like the rush you get when you're playing the game. That is, in my opinion, no longer available with this design of movement. It's impossible. Don't get me wrong, I know there will be people who are happy to see the change, and I do recognise that. But I also think that a lot of people that have been asking for this change haven't understood why they've been asking for the change. Let's take wall bouncing, for example. They've said that they wanted wall bouncing to go because it wasn't realistic. What they're not telling you is that that's a complete lie. They've wanted wall bouncing to go because they couldn't do it or they couldn't hit the people who could. That's just the way it is. And I know people are going to disagree with me, but I really don't think I'm wrong. And I'm going to admit that playing this, I was absolutely awful at it. You'll see that in my first game, I got against a professional player who clearly had had a go of the movement, who clearly had picked it up, and he was clearly better than me, outplayed me countless times. Wall bouncing is not in the game anymore. Mechanically, yes, wall cancel's there, but you're not wall bouncing like you used to, and anyone that says you are, they're lying. It's not there the same as it was. So, the people who wanted wall bouncing to go, I don't think they're going to be happy because, as I say, they were not actually bothered because of the mechanic of wall bouncing. They were bothered because they couldn't hit people who were moving faster than what they could do or track. Now, in this, wall bouncing's gone like they've asked for, but you've got people jumping around, climbing on covers faster than you can blink. They're going to complain about that because it's the speed that they couldn't keep up with, not the specific mechanic. So that makes me think, are they going to stick with the game? Genuinely, I don't know. I think for the first few months, yes. And then I think that people will start to trickle away, unfortunately. Then you look at people like myself and others who have been kind of quietly hoping for a Gears 3 remaster for a very long time. A Gears 3 movement type experience without any hinders like what we've seen with overpowered lances in Gears 4 or shot delay in Gears 5. We've not had an experience like that in a very long time. And if you're looking at E-Day to provide you that experience, I'm sorry, but this is very possibly the furthest away from that experience you are going to get. So I don't know who this game is aimed at. As I say, I don't think people who don't like wall bouncing are going to be happy with the movement because it's very fast, very casual, people jumping all over the place, quite literally. And then you've got the people who do like wall bouncing, realizing very quickly that it's just not present in the same way that we wanted it to be. So those people aren't going to be brought in by this either. So it makes me think, is this aimed at Gears players at all when it comes to movement? I think that TC had the mindset of trying to cater to it because they've catered to so much more. But I think that the bigger picture was to completely redo it and appeal to brand new players. That's my opinion. I have no idea, but that's just how it feels. To explain why I say this, when I've always said in the past that Gears has a feeling, For me, I don't want to get on and sit in cover and lancer someone, or sit there pinned down from someone lancering me, or get stuck on a wall, or roll into a wall, or slide into a wall now, or feel like I'm on ice. I don't want any of that. If I got on Gears, it's because Gears used to offer me something different. It used to offer me a bit of an adrenaline rush when you went into a Nasher battle, really quick paced, and you got to outplay a bunch of people and leave the encounter. For me, that's what I got enjoyment from. Was it tactical? No. Was it fun? I think it was, and I think a lot of people do agree with me. That is not available in this. I know a lot of people would probably expect me to cover mechanics and go in depth with mechanics. I had the expectation that I was going to do that, but when I played it, I realized that the movement is so far away from what I think people who follow me from my opinion would expect, that there is no point in me going into the mechanics and discussing the mechanics, because the gameplay is so different from what I think you would want to be seeing, that I don't think you're going to spend that much time with it anyway, so I'm not going to spend my time doing that. Also, I feel like this has been implemented by design, so for me to suggest changes, I don't see it happening at such a scale. The whole game would need redesigning for it to become mechanically how I'd like to play it. So, unfortunately, that observation is my tweet. Technically, I was wrong because this feels way more like a Gears universe than any other Gears we've had. But the premise of it not giving me the Gears feeling in multiplayer that I'd always want, I believe I was right. I'm going to like campaign, I can tell. I already do like Horde, it's a lot of fun. But I was right. This multiplayer does not provide even close to the feeling I want to have in a multiplayer game. So, whilst I might play it a little bit when it comes out, because of course I would, it's a new game, I don't see me spending much time on that at all. Just to add on to there for the people who tell me I'm going to play it anyway. I've just had the opportunity to play in a very privileged position of playing E-Day before beta in a preview. I played for approximately 1 hour of PvP in a session that did go on for longer than that. I forced myself to play multiple matches just for the sake of getting footage for this video. I played 1 hour, I turned it off and went to bed because at no point during any of the gameplay did I enjoy myself. And I admit I was awful at it. Yes, it's a skill issue, but if I'm not enjoying it, then I'm not going to play it, and that therein is the issue that I see in it. Moving on to my final thoughts now, I really need to put aside my preferences in order to give a fair review of the game. And if I'm being completely honest and balanced throughout all of this, I think TC have delivered exactly what they've been asked to do. And I think they've actually delivered it to a much higher quality than anyone had ever pictured. I think they've given Gears the modern game that it deserves, and I think from purely a high quality perspective, everyone should give this game a try. I think from a high quality perspective, this game has a very real potential to be the best Gears that we've had out of all of them. And I know that that's a big claim, but I genuinely believe that the quality is there. Unfortunately, I think the PvP has been made exceptionally simplified for brand new players, or for those players who've never wanted to invest time into learning the older high level mechanics. I think Horde is a lot of fun. I wish I'd had more time to spend playing that and seeing what more was there. I like being able to have attachments such as no scope on the sniper, instant rounds on the lancer, a bayonet on the Nasher. That was cool to run around with those. I do think that while Horde is fun, I'd like to see more going on. I do feel like the run between activities is very empty and easy. I would like to see more enemies. The main thing I was dying to between activities was falling down e-holes because I'm a complete moron. The idea of extraction, getting your things, is really cool, but I do think that this could be expanded on further. Let's say there's rare low chance cosmetics or upgrades hidden in the world, or that you get by completing certain challenges in the game. Let's say that if you were to earn those, that would be on your player as an upgrade that you then need to extract with. If you extract it successfully, you keep them, and then you can have that linked to your profile, or you can use the upgrade in a future game, and other people will be seeing that as a cool little thing that you've earned. Overall, I think this game, from a quality perspective, is honestly perfect based on the experience that I had. That is not something that I say lightly, as I think most of you would probably know. I think most of the game is going to be a lot of fun, so I view this as being a mostly very positive review after the experience I've had. Unfortunately, the PvP design is not something that appeals to me at all, and that is disappointing to me. So I think for my personal longevity with the game, it's going to be less than I would have liked to have done. And I think had they gone with a Gears 3 movement design, I think my time with the game would be a lot more extensive. Overall, I'm very impressed. Once again, a massive thank you to the Coalition and Xbox for inviting me to this. I do massively appreciate it, and I'm happy to see that things seem okay with us now. Um, I'm hopeful that people watching this give the game a try. I understand my stance on the PvP wasn't a positive one, but overall, I assure you that as a Gears game, the quality is absolutely there, where I think you'll find enjoyment in one way or another with different parts of this game. I look forward to seeing the rest, and I'm looking forward to playing the campaign.